Welcome again, friends. Hope you enjoyed the PCR applications part 1 and learned some new things. Today we are learning some more applications of PCR in the fields of genotyping, clinical and molecular diagnostics, genetic testings, forensics, and in agricultural biotechnology. Let's begin with genotyping. Genotype is the genetic makeup of an individual. And what is genotyping? No two human beings, except for identical twins, share exactly same gene sequences. There are minor variations or genetic differences in a population which affect phenotypes like different eye color, etc. These alternate forms of a gene are called alleles, and alleles are a common occurrence in a population. However, some alleles may be pathogenic and thus cause disease. On the other hand, many single nucleotide polymorphisms or SNPs have also been associated with diseases like cancers. More than 660 million SNPs are present on an average in a person's genome, but less than 1% only affect the coding genes. Many SNPs have been identified as markers of a disease. An allele-specific real-time or qRT-PCR thus is widely used to identify a wild-type allele from a variant allele or a disease-associated SNP. Here we see that a set of primers are being used which bind to wild-type allele and produce a PCR product. However, wild-type forward primers are designed such that they do not anneal with the gene template at their 3' OH end if the template sequence has a single base change or SNP. In that case, wild-type gene gets exponentially amplified, but the gene with SNP only amplifies through reverse primer. Thus, a linear amplification is achieved. There are more variations available to this method, where a set of wild-type and a set of allele-specific primers can also be designed. Also, a probe specific to SNP can also be used, along with a normal set of primers. Genotyping can also be used to identify transgenic organisms like a knock-in or a knockout mice using transgene-specific primers. One of the most important applications of PCR is in the field of clinical and molecular diagnostics, like to diagnose infectious diseases, to find oncogenic or cancer-causing mutations, and in genetic testings. Let's begin with use of PCR in diagnosing certain infectious diseases like tuberculosis, HIV, and now very famous SARS-CoV-2 RT-PCR test. These PCR tests are routinely done for diagnosis. Pulmonary and extrapulmonary tuberculosis, one of the leading chronic bacterial infections, are caused by different Mycobacterium species, Mycobacterium tuberculosis being the most frequent one. Besides conventional methods of culture, sputum staining, etc., Mycobacterium-specific PCR test is used for rapid diagnosis and is highly sensitive and specific compared to conventional methods. It can be used using tissue, sputum, or CSF samples. Mycobacterium pan-specific primers target and amplify genes in Mycobacterium species like insertion element IS6110, ACE1A gene, GAP, GLCB, RPOA, RPOB, ACR, ACG, etc. For human immunodeficiency virus or HIV diagnosis, RT-PCR test detects the presence of integrated viral RNA, which is the genetic material for HIV. In the first step, nested PCR, reverse primer is designed for the conserved regions of GAG gene, whereas a human ALU repeat sequence is targeted by the forward primer. This product is then used for the second step RT-PCR, where a forward primer against R region of HIV-1 and a LTR-U5 reverse primer amplify the viral cDNA. Now in qRT-PCR test, a reverse primer against HIV mRNA's poly-A tail is being used. Other HIV-1 specific primers target polymerase genes POL1, POLJ, and long terminal repeats LTR-U3 and LTR-U5. Now, recently, SARS coronavirus 2 RT-PCR test is in news as a reliable, rapid, and sensitive method to diagnose the coronavirus infection. The primers are designed against open reading frame ORF1b of human coronavirus polymerase gene sequence. Each primer set is 5' end labeled with a fluorescent dye called 6-FAM to facilitate quantification in qRT-PCR. One-step amplification reactions along with positive and negative controls are performed for validation. Besides, PCR approach is used for rapid and non-invasive prenatal diagnosis and carrier testings of several genetic disorders. For prenatal testings, a digital droplet or dPCR is performed. In peripheral blood of the mother, there is a low abundance of cell-free DNA from the fetus, thus making PCR an attractive and sensitive alternative to conventional invasive methods. Approximately 3 to 13% of the total circulating free DNA in mother's plasma is fetal DNA. This circulating cell-free fetal DNA or cCFF DNA is amplified using PCR and can be used for fetal sex determination, fetal rhesus factor genotyping, SNPs, gene deletions, aneuploidies, or any inherited monogenic disorder. A digital droplet PCR is very similar to the traditional routine PCR and uses a fluorescently labeled probe. PCR sample is partitioned into thousands of droplets. Each droplet may have no template or one template or just a few template molecules, which are then amplified using appropriate primers and probe. Since probe is fluorescently labeled and releases fluorescent molecule during successful amplification cycles, those droplets with the PCR product can be detected and scored positive. Those droplets which did not receive any template molecule do not have any fluorescence and are scored as negative. The data is then analyzed by Poisson statistical analysis for quantification. This digital droplet technique can also be used for detecting any copy number variations and single nucleotide mutations in fetus. STR or short tandem repeats are 2 to 7 base pair long repeats which are distributed throughout the human genome. Their repeat numbers vary from one individual to another and therefore can be used for DNA fingerprinting. As we know, DNA fingerprinting is an important technique in determining genetic identity, which can be used in paternity tests, forensics, criminal trials, and even for the screening of genetically modified foods. Here we are analyzing two individuals' STRs, which differ in copy numbers and after PCR show different bands on gel. How this process takes place in forensics? A combination of PCR primers for a few STRs is used in a multiplex system. As in North America, CODIS 13 fingerprinting system uses multiplex PCR with primers to identify 13 different STR repeat numbers in a suspect sample. This analysis has a very low or almost no probabilities of having two individuals with same number of repeats, as in 13 different STRs in their genome have to be exactly same for that to happen. PCR is a very useful technique in agricultural biotechnology field too, where it can be used for various purposes. Real-time PCR is used in plant genetics and breeding experiments, where a specific DNA fragment or a transgene is amplified from the plant genome to check for homozygosity, heterozygosity, or polyploidy. Seed genotyping and SNP genotyping using allele-specific PCR are also routinely performed. Grains are important and used in many food industries. Checking for grains quality and variety thus is necessary and can be done using PCR. Foodborne diseases can be caused by many plant pathogens. Some common foodborne diseases are also caused by bacterial pathogens including Listeria monocytogenes, Escherichia coli, Staphylococcus aureus, Salmonella enterica, Vibrio species, etc. The presence of these pathogens can be detected by using pathogen DNA specific primers. It's rapid and sensitive and can prevent bacterial infections. You can also use PCR for checking for the presence of an insert after a cloning experiment. If we have created a transgenic plant, then the presence of transgene and its copy number can be found out using qRT-PCR. So we looked at some more important and interesting applications of PCR. There are many more applications which are not covered here. This was my last video tutorial in this series, friends. Soon I will be back with some new tutorials. If you like my tutorial, please comment and subscribe to my channel, encouraging me to create more interesting ones. Till then, bye and thanks.